Alright, today I'm going to show you quickly how to do a multi-camera edit in Premiere Pro CS6 to CC 2014. And a little setup on how to set up the project for you. So what I do is I make a folder with my files in it, and when you start your project, start a project that just start any project, get ready to do a sequence. What I do is I do several sequences. I'll do a sequence for the ceremony, their ceremony, introductions and first dance, and then like toasts or whatever. And I set up separate sequences and I put them in a sequence folder. Ceremony synced, replaced. Introductions, first dance, synced. Toast synced. The synced files, the ones that say synced, are the ones that Pluraleyes does. So basically what I'm shooting with, and at this wedding, I'm shooting a wedding at an airport on a tarmac with airplanes and stuff in the hangar, which is really cool because this guy here, we did his wedding, and then we did his brother's wedding and his other brother's wedding. We've done multiple weddings for this family, and they're all pilots, which is really cool. But this is the first one that I actually did at an airport in Woodstock, Georgia, which was really neat. And they took off in a plane at the end. He flew the couple out at the end of the thing. But anyway, so I set up my folders like this. So basically I take my folder in Explorer or whatever you're using. If you're on a Mac or whatever, doesn't matter. You've got your hard drive. I use a RAID array inside. And then inside the hard drive, two 4 gig drives in a RAID, or 2 3 gig drive, or 3 terabyte gig, 4 terabyte drives in a RAID or whatever. And then inside there, I call it projects, and then inside there the couple's name, and then inside that folder, inside the couple's name folder, I make a folder called footage, and I put all my audio clips. The D750, which is what I'm shooting on this one, which was an awesome camera, just came out when I shot this. We had just gotten the camera, and I fell in love with it. It's an incredible camera. The D750 is incredible for video, just incredible. Shoots 1080-60p, has a flip, the LCD flips. Enough about the cameras, but it's a great camera for video if you're doing video, and great for pictures. We did the photos with the D750 too. See here, the D750 photos. We did photos with the D750. They came out fantastic. Anyway, so I've got one for pictures. We did the photo and the video on this wedding. And then the Sony, I'm shooting with the AX100, which is shooting 4K. So I'm shooting 4K video on the Sony, and then 1080p 60 on the Nikon. So anyway, you take the folder in Explorer or whatever your file browser is, and you drag this directly into the project, and it creates that folder right there. It creates a folder. So inside the D750, when I drop it in, it creates the folder and has all your files in it. So when you get ready to do these tabs at the top, after you drag it in, you double click it, and it'll actually be in list view like this. You click this little icon view item, and it puts icons in. Then you'd grab this tab up here. See how it's got like a little tab? You grab this tab and you drop it to the top. And now you've got Sony D750. And if you scroll down through the D750, you can see which ones are used by the little blue things on them. Orange in the older versions. So in CS6 it was orange. All the way to CC, the latest version was orange. But anyway, so you go up here and you see where your clips are and what clips you have. There's the cake cutting and stuff. We're going to jump right to toast. So it looks like this is toast here. It says it's already used. It's not used. Either way. Anyway, so you're going to go in here, and then you're going to go to sequences, and we're going to make a new sequence. I highlight the folder that you're going to do before you do it. File, new, sequence, or Control and N, and then DSLR 1080p 24. I shoot at 24p for most of my stuff. So, and then I call this sequence toast. Toasts. Okay. So now I've got a sequence called toast, 1080p right there. So then what I do is first, the Sony usually is recording longer. because the Nikon is limited to 20 minutes. The Sony's not limited. There's no time limit. So you can just hit record and just keep going on the Sony. So let's get to the toes. Let's find the toes on the Sony where he's filming the toes. That's probably this one right here. I double click it. See there? Yeah, there's the toes. They're on there. So I drag this down to track 1. Now it's going to come out and say, the clip does not match the sequence settings. Change the sequence to match the clip settings. No, I don't want to do that because I shot this in 4K. This is shot in 4K. I don't want the sequence to be 4K. I want it to continue to be 1080p because I don't want to upscale my D750 footage, which is 1080p, to 4K. I would rather downscale and be able to reframe this 4K footage. And since I'm delivering on 1080p anyway, what difference is, when I deliver on 4K, I'll shoot with 2 4K cameras and it won't come up with this error. So I want to keep the existing settings. So if you see, it's actually zoomed in a little bit. If I right click and choose scale the frame size, it's actually already scaled because I set it up in the preferences. If you go to preferences, I'll show you here. File, no, edit, preferences, general, default scale to frame size. See that? You check that box and it'll automatically scale your clips to the frame size. I do that because I want to keep my thing. I can uncheck that out of the box, but I wanted to let you know because normally by default that's not selected. So here they are talking, right?
Remember like it was yesterday.
Okay, so there they are talking. So now I want to go to the D750 and find that same clip, which is right here. Here we go.
On the mic and no? Okay, we'll let Ryan.
That's me.
Here
I
we
was
go.
shooting photos.
Our best man.
And there's the Sony.
Best man. What does
He walked by with the Sony. So here it is, best man, blah blah blah. So we'll plop this clip down on the timeline. They should be about the same size, and they are. They end with people dancing. I just let it roll. So we're lucky in this case, we just have one. So then I go to project and I have a toast. This is directly off the soundboard. So if you listen, it's
help get this shindig. I helped put
just
some of
a recorder directly off the soundboard. I adjust my sound after the fact. So you just plop this right on the timeline, right underneath, and then you go file, save the project. I save it anyway beforehand. Some people save it, let the thing save it because it's going to do it right now. When you install Pluraleyes into your system, when you install it, you also install the Pluraleyes connector for Premiere Pro. Remember to install that connector. It's usually under a folder inside your shooter suite or whatever it is that where Pluraleyes is. There'll be extras and there'll be a thing for connector for Premiere. Sometimes you'll have to install the Active Exchange. You have to go to Active Exchange in Adobe. There's directions and instructions how to do it. You go to Active Exchange and Exchange, add this little extension to Premiere. So you go to Windows Extensions, Window Extensions, and you'll have Pluraleyes 3 or 3.5 depending on which version you bought. So you click Pluraleyes 3 and it's going to say save your project, save it now. I've had it actually had an error right there and not save it. So when it comes up, if you have multiple sequences, I've got several sequences, then it'll ask you which one you want. You got to pick the right one. If you don't have multiple sequences, if you're on your very first project and it's the very first sequence, it'll go directly in and load the video files. So you won't have to worry about this. But the next time you do it, it'll come up with this. So you click OK. And it comes up with this error. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you. It comes up with this error. Pluraleyes 3 comes up with this error. Probably 4 doesn't have it. It says Pluraleyes memory usage is high. May lead to instability. Please save any open projects and restart the application. You don't have to worry about it. What that is because there's 4K footage in here, it's like freaking out Pluraleyes to have 4K footage. So that only comes up when I have a 4K in the sequence. If there's no 4K in the sequence, if it's all 1080p, it doesn't come up. I just click OK and continue. I don't need to even worry about it. I already brought this project in and tested it, so I wanted to make sure, because I was having a problem earlier with 5.1 mono and stereo audio all mixed on the same thing, and it freaked Pluraleyes out. So I just set this one up, made sure it worked right before I came in and did the tutorial so that we don't have to worry about issues. So it automatically comes up and shows you camera 1, camera 2 is the other camera. There's the Nikon. Camera 1 is the, and it's showing you the audio, 23.98, 23.98, the 24p, and then this is the audio recorder, the one audio recorder clip, the 2 cameras. So you're set. All you got to do is go to sync. I uncheck level audio. I hate it when it tries to level the audio because I tweak my audio after the fact over in Audition. Then sync, try really hard. These are the 2 things I check. I make sure the level audio is off and try really hard is on. Because for some reason, if the audio is real low like this, sometimes it freaks out. It can't find the similar things and it messes it up. This is a pretty simple one, so it should sync this. Let's see. Click synchronize. Boom, it's synced. That's it. Simple as pie. Click export timeline. Export. Now it probably put them, okay, put them right there in toast synced. Toast synced. For some reason, it always jumps the thing over from the toast to a different one. I have no idea why it does this. I don't need toast anymore because I don't use synced replaced. I only use toast synced. I never use the replaced one. I'll show you what they look like. Replaced adds extra audio tracks for the things. For some reason, it like separates left and right and does some kind of crazy thing. I don't do that. I just do toast synced. Now, see, it's just the one. There's the audio, video, video. That's it. It's done. It's synced up. So, now that we have it synced, what I do is, I hold Alt or Control or Command or Alt on the keyboard. Drag a box around the top 2 video tracks. Right click and choose Nest. Now what I do is I rename this nested sequence of 1 because in the new version, in the older versions of Premiere, it just automatically did nested sequence 01 and put it in the bin. In Premiere CC 2014, it comes up with this box that asks you to name it. I like to name the ones that are important to me like this. So I'll go toast nested. Toasts nested. This way I can keep track of what those sequences are. And it also plops it down at the bottom. I don't like that, so I'll move it up into the sequence. Now I got toast sync, toast nested. There's my nested sequence in case I need to go back and color correct on it. So then you go, while you're in the toast synced one, right click and choose multi-camera, enable. All right. And then, and here's the cool part. Here's the cool part. This window right here, I added toggle multi-camera view, Shift and O. You can add this by going to, I think, this little plus button editor, and it's right here. Toggle multi-camera view. You can select that and it'll put the button there. So I added this button so I can just click it right here. And then you're ready to start editing. So you can click from camera to camera right here. So I just click
Are you ready?
play.
Did you want to go since you were already on the mic? And then,
there we go.
Okay, we'll let Ryan.
He's moving
go
around
first.
with the camera so you can't.
Here we go.
Passes me.
It's our best man.
It doesn't, this isn't that important.
The best man.
He's walking by.
What does that title entail? Let's see, today it started about a week ago. Being the best man.
I'm waiting for this camera to catch up.
Put some of it together.
He walked around the back, which I don't like.
Way,
He's in the
let's
shot.
see, Tracy, when do we officially meet? About 5
Also,
years
this
ago?
needs to be zoomed in. It's not
Remember I did
synced.
it
It's
yesterday.
not set right. So then you can start clicking from camera to camera.
I did not prepare a speech. I'll let it come from the heart here. I'm going to keep
See how
it
he's
short
moving
and
his
sweet.
camera.
so we
He's
got
finding
time
a
to
better
get
spot.
around.
There he goes walking past.
Tracy first came into my life when Shelby
I'm going to show you how to
Rory.
fix that.
Rory brought her home, and I said, "You did good, son."
It's 4K, and it's not framing it up right.
And then
It's okay. He's got it right
she
here.
ended
Watch.
up
I'll show you.
living with us for a
We're going to stop it. It automatically puts the clips. So now I can go to toast nested. Go to the nested toast. MP4. If you look, I'll show you what this looks like. Uncheck this. There's the thing. If you look, it's actually zoomed way in. See how it's zoomed in? Right click. Scale the frame size. Now it's zoomed out again. This is only if you're shooting with 4K. Now if I go back to toast synced, see, it's right. See, now if I go back, now it looks right. Now we've got the two
while.
shots. There's a wide shot,
And then they
and here's
bought
a
the
closer
house,
shot.
and they still live together.
So I can go from
today,
camera to
and that's
camera.
Great. Now they're married. I couldn't be happier for my brother. He did well.
You can go from camera to camera, while you're playing,
just wanna
just
say
click
welcome
camera,
to the family
camera,
and my
or you
first
can also
sister.
click 1 and 2 on the top
By law.
on the keyboard. I'm not touching. I'm not clicking it. See,
And I look forward to our
2.
relationship
See, my mouse
growing,
isn't moving. Now
our
I can
family
click
growing
1 or 2.
together.
And if you've got
As we,
4
grow
or
older.
8 or
We're all
whatever,
so
you'll have those
close
windows
knit,
up
you
here.
know, everybody kind of lives in the same zip code
So,
practically. So
That's
like-
how you do multi-camera in Premiere. I hope this helps you. So when you go back to play, what I do is I go back to play,
Yes, a little bit maybe.
and I'll give you an example of this. I zoom it in. I'm holding Alt on the keyboard and zoom in the mouse wheel. Zoom it in. That's fine. I'll probably fiddle with this later. But if you look, I cut to this, and he went and moved. See how he went and moved? I might shorten that up. So all you gotta do is just go right here, shorten it to here, and then back over. Now I just cut from there back to this shot because he
I
goes
did not
walking
prepare a
by.
speech. I'll let it come from the heart here. I'm going to keep it
He's trying to
short
find a
and
better
sweet
spot. I
so
told him
you
to come
have
over
time
this
to
side.
run
He's
around.
crossing the 180-degree line, so I said come over here.
And then she
And
ended
now he's
up
there.
living
So
with
that's a
us
good
for a
shot.
while. And then they bought the house, and they still live together today, and that's great.
And if you're listening to the audio, I can come back and I can either mute. If I mute these,
Now they're married. I couldn't be.
now we
happier.
have just
My
the audio
brother
off
did
the
well.
audio
Did
recorder.
great. Sweet girl.
I won't mute it. What I'll do is I'll turn it down and raise it up during clapping. So I'll turn both of these down and then raise them up during clapping, and I'll edit the audio after I'm done. I'll go back through and boost this audio in Audition, edit it after I'm done.
Her sister, by law. And I look forward to our relationship growing, our family growing together.
So there's your multi-camera editing in multi-camera editing in Premiere, and I hope this has been instructive. I hope this helped you, and now you can continue on. I had a friend of mine ask me about this the other day. He said, well, how do you do it in Premiere? What's the best way to do it? So I told him how I was going to tell him I'd make a tutorial and show him how to do this so that it'd be easier for you and for other people. And I thought, why not? Have a good day. Bye.